Wrapping up the first half, the sun beating down on the great city of Phoenix, Arizona, but we're indoors nice and cool. All of our action on this Family Sunday, brought to you by our good friends and partners with Sanderson, Ford, and Lincoln Mercury. It's the Florida Marlins going head-to-head with the Arizona Diamondbacks, up from Double-A, 2 starts in the big leagues. Mr. Enright, Barry Enright, is on the mound, getting ready to see if he can piece things together even more. Last time out, pretty good stuff. Hello there, folks. The first half wraps up. He is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Off a nice win last night, in which we saw Juan Gutierrez wrap things up. We wrap up a first half in which it's been very, very disappointing wins and losses. We start kind of a new era with Kirk Gibson. So as you look back to some of the good and the bad in the first half and look ahead, what are some of your thoughts?
Well, one of the things that stuck out for me, Darren, as far as the positive, was the starting pitching. I think the starting pitching was certainly a question mark coming into the season. There was no Brandon Webb. Brandon Webb had said it was going to be late April when he comes back. I don't even think we're going to see Brandon Webb this year. So that was that. But the rest of the guys, I thought, pieced it together pretty well. I thought Edwin Jackson, Ian Kennedy, and along with Dan Herron and obviously Rodrigo Lopez, they did a more than admirable job. Unfortunately, the bullpen and they were missing out on the timely hits. Plenty of homers, just not enough timely hits, and unfortunately way too many losses.
And again, the negative does speak for itself, so I'm going to give you one more positive. One of the great stories, really, for this franchise is Chris Young. He's going to the All-Star game. He
Absolutely.
was in AAA last year.
Yeah, Chris Young is a great story. This is a kid that just went back and completely started over. He got a mulligan this year. And this is a team that believed in him. They thought, you know what, this guy can come back. This guy can come back and be a superior player. He has been terrific this year. A well-deserved All-Star appearance. He's going to even try to hit some long balls in the home run contest tomorrow. Congratulations, Chris Young. A terrific first half.
All right, Kirk Gibson, the new skipper of these Diamondbacks. He's been frank. He's been honest. The expectations are there. He gives the baseball to Barry Enright today. Glad to have you with us. You've been the other most important part of it, hanging out with us with the baseball all first half long. Looking forward to the second half, but first, a little break. It's the Marlins. It's the Diamondbacks. We have it all for you right after this.
night, what so proudly we hailed.
Trent's color. Baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Casinos, proud partner of the Diamondbacks, and by Southwest Airlines. Visit Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on. Fans making their way into Chase Field. More than 38 million fans have attended baseball games here in the first half. In the big leagues, the Cowboy Joe West heading on over for a few pleasantries with Kirk Gibson, with Matt Williams. And here in this ballpark, 1.14 million baseball fans have attended ball games. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Florida Marlins. Coghlan, Sanchez, Hanley Ramirez, All-Star, Cantu, former All-Star Ugla, Ross, Stanton's put on a display in this series, Paulino, and Alex Sanabia is on the hill. Barry Enright rocks and fires in his third Major League start, and we are underway with strike one to Chris Coghlan. Coghlan at 271. 5 home runs, 28 RBIs, and he hacks again. No balls and 2 strikes.
Oh, we've seen Barry Enright. He is around the plate. He throws a lot of strikes. He gets ahead of hitters. And whatever level you're at, Darren, whether you're in Double-A Mobile or in the major leagues, if you get ahead of hitters, well, you're ahead of the game. You're going to be successful.
Off speed, dives down and away. 1-2 the count to Coghlan. So let me take a look at a new baseball. Numbers delivered by the UPS store. 2 starts. You can see what he was able to accomplish in St. Louis. 5 innings, 1 run, 4 walks, too many pitches, and he'll be the first to tell you he was nervous. A little bit more dialed in against the Cubs. 5 2/3, 3 runs. Long balls were what cursed him in that ball game, and then his bullpen couldn't keep it a ball game. As that slider is high. 2-2 the count.
Want to say a quick hello to my 2 sons, Jackson and Preston, watching on TV at home. I want to say hello and goodbye. I won't be seeing them for a week because I'm off to SoCal. So, boys, I love you and I'll miss you, and I'll see you soon.
The 2-2. Into right field. Coming on is Justin Upton with the slide and the catch. Upton hauls it in. A little bit of defensive help behind him. Mr. Barry Enright.
Well, that's a nice way to start your day right there. Justin Upton, a sinking line drive, and he just sprawls and makes a beautiful grab. If that gets by, that might be an inside the park home run with Coghlan speed. So a super play there to start the day by Justin Upton.
Nearly 12 years in the major leagues for this man. He spends it now playing off the bench for the Florida Marlins the last few years. But has proven to be a good clubhouse guy and a man that can be called upon late in ball games. 81 career pinch hits, 7 career pinch hit homers, but you got to start occasionally. So these are good days for Wes Helms. Get a 4 at bat day, 34 years old, as that one is low. 1-1 the count. Had a 23 home run season a couple of years back when he was a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Bouncing ball to a knee. Reynolds back up with it in time for the out. Defensively, the Diamondbacks strutting their stuff, so let's take a look at all of them. Parra, All-Star Chris Young, Justin with a nice play. Same could be said about Mark Reynolds. Next to him, Stephen Drew. Kelly Johnson, a fine D-backs debut in the first half. Miguel Montero. You wonder what might have been if we wouldn't have had Miguel Montero healthy the entire first half of the season. Mark Reynolds doing a fine job defensively, improving this year. Justin Upton as well has reeled in his defense. I think we overlooked that on occasion. He's had a much better defensive year in right field. Adam LaRoche not playing today. That back that was barking yesterday. Kirk Gibson giving him the day off to heal that back. He walked in today and said, I'm ready to go. And Gibson said before the game, I can tell by the way you've walked in that you're not. So enjoy your All-Star break.
The All-Star break starts today. He may seem late in the game and possibly pinch hitting duties, but go ahead and start your break a couple of days early. He's had a very good first half, as Adam LaRoche. And because of his defense, a lot of Diamondbacks on the infield have had good seasons defensively because of that man.
Yeah, we talked about that to open up this series. A worthwhile conversation. The 1-1. Inside, 2-1 the count to Hanley Ramirez. By the way, your conversation with Adam LaRoche about the work he has done at first can be found on FoxSportsArizona.com online in its entirety. To right field, Upton to his right, Barry Enright. 1-2-3 to start things off against the Florida Marlins. Our break, we'll head for a brief event to Southern California for the All-Star game and then back to relax for a couple of days. As he said, catch up on my sleep. His wife is visiting. Let's take a look at the Southwest.com. Southwest Airlines starting lineup. All-Star Chris Young, home run derby as well. It's Kelly, Justin, Miguel Montero. Look what he has done. Mark Reynolds, Stephen Drew, Rusty Ryle. Gerardo Parras in left, and Barry Enright can handle the bat very nicely. Well, his first ever start in the big leagues, Alex Sanabia, is only 21 years old, out of San Diego, California. 32nd round pick, so middle round pick. As that one is strike one to Chris Young. Fastball, breaking ball. You can see the work he did at Jacksonville this year. He earned the right to be here. And stepping outside of the starting five, one of the rare teams to use a five-man core, and they finally do so with Sanabia. 1-1 the count to Young.
Just missed off the corner. Angel Hernandez, home plate umpire. Darren, usually one of the more generous umpires back behind the plate as far as pitchers are concerned.
Well, I'm excited about that. As that one is a strike,
as
Angel.
You just saw.
I like that. 2-2 the count. But he doesn't mind if you bark at him about balls and strikes, right?
No, he gets very upset about that, actually, Darren.
Good for him. The 2-2. Young down the line, hugging into the corner, but it's foul. Trying to hang on to that line. Taking off after the ball game and taking it all in as you gave your advice from afar. Then he said basically everything you suggested to any first-time All-Star, which is remind all of our fans what he should do.
Well, enjoy every second of it. Bring mom and dad if they can. Bring significant other if they can. And go to every event that you possibly can. Because it's fun. It should be fun. It's an honor. And for a guy like Chris Young, who last year was sent to AAA because he wasn't cutting the mustard up here, just go soak it in, enjoy it. And then the one thing I want to make sure he understands too is don't be shy. Act like you belong there, because you do belong there, Chris Young.
And he plans on doing that. Let's hope he's able to put all those memories, file them all away as you were able to do. He always has that man he can rely on who was an all-star last year. Justin going out for a brief event he shared. Not going to the all-star game and then disappearing by a beach and then making his way down to San Diego to rejoin the club. Runner goes. He is in there with a stolen base. That's a big part of the story for Young, especially since June 1. Chris Young now with 17 stolen bases.
Usually don't see Chris Young go in head first. This time he does. He just gets in there ahead of the tag. Boy, he got there quickly. That was a good throw by Paulino. Boy, he's becoming such an exciting player to watch this year.
Kelly Johnson fouls it off. 1-1 the count. The player of the month in the National League in April. Kelly hit .313. Slugged .750. Had 9 homers, 18 RBIs. Was quiet for a bit, not for very long. And you can see what he's doing again, storming into the break offensively. Boy, a nice pickup for the Diamondbacks. It's been fun to watch him work this year. 2-1 the count. Gibson talking about Chris Young, why he again, and he's asked about it regularly when he moves him out of the leadoff spot and then back in. He said he's distracting. He said if not our best, simply closest to our best at distracting opposing pitchers. We saw it last night.
Saw it last night, and that led to a Chris Snyder long ball. It ended up being the margin of victory. Chris Snyder's home run and a 1-run win. Chris Young was over there messing around, finally distracted the pitcher enough to make a mistake. And Chris Snyder hit it in the seats. That's all part of offense. That's all part of the running game. It doesn't necessarily mean just the stolen bases, Darren. It's giving that opposing pitcher something else to think about besides the hitter. It's going first to third. It's going first to home on a double. There's a lot more to the running game than just stealing bases.
Well, and ever since we have been listening to Kirk Gibson, whether it was as a bench coach, now as a manager, he expects you to practice just that, what he preaches, because he has the same attitude. And he makes it clear to his guys. The other part of it, Gracie, and I think it's very important to explain to our young baseball fans on this Sunday, is it's not just the fast guys that are expected to do that.
That's exactly right. You don't have to be a fast base runner to be a good base runner. If you get good jumps and you get good secondary leads.
Base hit left field. Youngblood, stop sign. Runners are on first and third. And here we go, putting the heat on these Diamondbacks. Walk, stolen base, and a pretty single to left.
That was a beautiful at-bat by Kelly Johnson. We call him hard-hitting Kelly Johnson. Take a look at what I'm talking about, a secondary lead. There's the leadoff. Now, that's called your secondary lead right there. Now you read it, and you're off to the races. Kirk Gibson was not real pleased with the fellas as a whole as far as their aggressiveness, their secondary leads, the way they went first to third or second to home. He feels like Bo Porter and Joel Youngblood have had to put the stop sign up way too much because of less than good jumps at second. I mean, Kirk wants his guy windmilling. He wants Joel Youngblood windmilling. Yelling encouragement to Justin Upton. I love it.
That reminds me of Bobby Cox. Remember, we talked about how Bobby, no matter the score, is always hollering out encouraging phrases and emphasizing his hitters out there. That one's away, 1-1 the count.
That's what he was saying. He's pitching you away. Hit that hole over there.
So that's what he was saying. Good catch, Grayson.
Yeah, right. He's got a big hole to shoot through. That's what Kirk Gibson was saying. Hit that hole over there.
In the dirt, 2-1 the count. See why at third now with those 13 stolen bases since June the 5th. Carl Crawford, Sean Figgins. He is tied for first in the big leagues with those two. Figgins finally getting something done, huh?
Yeah, it's been a rough first half for Sean.
Popped up, back of short. Upton frustrated, fires that bat away. Let's take a look at the Marlins defense. Jay Up made it easy on him that time. He'll get another chance. Coughlin, Ross, Stanton, really enjoying him so far in this series. Only 20. Big Tex, Wes Helms is at third. It's Ramirez, former Diamondback Ugla, Cantu, Paulino, Alex Sanabia. He's been knocking down fences in right field, knocking over closers, hitting homers to right field, digging up the sod, storming all over the place.
Hitting some of the hardest line drives we've seen. He's not careful, Darren. He's going to become my guy.
Really now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not quite there yet. You know, to be my guy, you got to be hitting a little higher than 236. But he's getting close.
I'm guessing he's his guy.
Ooh.
When you're an interim manager and you're trying to prove things to ownership, as Miggy pops it up. Well, he's done so much, but now steps in line with Justin Upton in a couple of empty at-bats. And a good changeup for the young man in his first major league start. That's a pitch right there. Love the walk, the stolen base, the pretty hitting. Got to cash in.
Let's see if Mark Reynolds can come to the rescue of Justin Upton and Miguel Montero. Boy, that's where your money's made in this game. Guy on third, less than 2 outs, playing the infield back. Now your attitude as a hitter, well, if you guys don't want that money, I'll take it.
Well, low arm angle as he serves it up there, 1-0 the count. Fastball, changeup, breaking ball out of that arm angle. Has almost exclusively gone fastball, changeup to start the game. From San Diego, California, Chula Vista. There's a fastball over the outside. Castle Park High School. And when you're picked in the middle rounds out of high school, and it's only 2006 that he was picked, you think, well, must have been some sort of draft and follow. No, he was picked out of high school, and it's just made the most of his opportunity. The 1-1. 1-2.
Well, he just threw a fastball right by Mark Reynolds. Why don't you go about belt high to Mark? That's a little bit too tall for him. He likes the ball down around the knees. Got it elevated around the belt.
The young man with the runner going. That pitch is high. Throw down. Ray Johnson swipes it. 2-2 the count.
That's the running game Kirk Gibson loves. Try to force a mistake. Paulino checks on Chris Young, then decides to throw it anyway. Threw it in the dirt. That ball gets away. Chris Young scores. Nice play by Dan Ugla, keeping it in front.
So Mark with 56 runs batted in, a couple out there. Fastball high and inside.
He wanted to chase it, but he laid off. Nicely done by Mark Reynolds.
Sanabia, just 8 1/3 major league innings coming in. 10 hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, and a couple of long balls. Just 3 relief appearances is all. Got him. Fastball away. An empty offensive inning for the Diamondbacks. A walk, a single, 2 stolen bases, and no runs.
Easier, a lot better than I guess a double A hitter would. You know, there's going to be those maybe 2-3 guys in the lineup, in a double A lineup that, hey, you know, that you're going to have to battle throughout the whole game. In some lineups, you know, every day is going to be a battle in double A, but here you have to know that 1 through 9 or 1 through 8, you know, depending on if there's a pitcher in the lineup or whatnot, is going to be a battle the entire day, and can't take a pitch off.
And he learned that against the Chicago Cubs the first and second time through the lineup against Chicago. The Cubs were 3 of 17. The third time through, they chased him. They were 4 for 5 with 2 homers and 2 doubles and 3 runs scored. It's fun talking with Barry Enright because a young man out of Stockton, California, is very forthright when speaking about himself. He's handled it with a lot of presence, but the first to say that, my goodness, good curveball. The first to say that I didn't make the adjustments. And these guys, every time through in the big leagues, third time through, I'm looking for a different at-bat. I wasn't ready for them.
They started picking on that first pitch fastball that he was doing the first 2 times through. As you said, that's what major league hitters do. That's why they stay around. They start seeing patterns, they find patterns, and pretty soon they're going to exploit you.
And once you get up here as a pitcher, you can't hide, and it's easy to read into a pitcher's answers. If they're paying attention, if they're learning, good pitch inside. And you can sense so far that he is. I mean, that start in St. Louis, Gracie, the way he nibbled around and went through a normal Major League debut. When you're a bit nervous, you're missing out of the zone, he could have gotten handed his lunch in that game.
He didn't. He made every big pitch he needed to with runners in scoring position.
Bouncing ball. Stephen Drew sets, fires, Ryle stays in the bag. Defense getting it done for the Diamondbacks so far.
Well, Barry Enright doing a nice job of trusting his defense. He's getting some awfully good stuff behind him. Justin Upton. We saw Mark Reynolds in the first inning. Now deep in the hole. And a nice toe dance over there by Rusty Ryle as well.
Here's Rusty. Johnny on the spot again, growing, trying to get better at first base. Due to lack of work when he has miscues. Dan Uggla. First pitch swinging, pops it up. That should be a souvenir. Miggy will give it a look. Stay away from that sign, Miggy. There you go. He bangs it with his catcher's mitt. That's that sign he smashed into, making, well, probably as good of a play as a catcher can make a couple of days ago. Look at it. I don't like this sign. Terrible. Come on, get that mask on. 0-1 the count. It's fun to watch work, isn't he, Montero?
Good player.
Now, you make a good point, because a guy that's smiling with energy, that doesn't hustle and hits 138, it's not fun to watch him work.
No, and he won't be around very long.
No. He and his wife featured in 10th inning after the game. Pretty good pitch. Talking about their tour around the world. Miggy, I remember you pointed it out earlier this year, made a lot of us husbands look bad.
Looked really bad. Hey, I want to go to Barcelona.
Foul ball.
I want to go to Sydney, Australia. Yeah. I want to go to the French Riviera.
I mean, he was like...
And Miguel actually took his wife to those places.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you go, Darren?
Yeah. Milwaukee for a basketball game. Breaking ball, it's a foul ball. Went to Detroit over the holidays.
I was going to say, took my guy to Gila Bend a couple of times.
So anyway, a big feature, as he will again make all of you boyfriends and husbands look really bad with what he did for his wife. Ground ball hits the bag. Well, Mark was ready for another fine defensive play, but you can't do anything about that. So Uggla with a base smasher, and he is on with a single. First hit of the ball game.
Bouncer down the line. Bonk. Oh, you got to make that play, don't you, Darren?
No.
Nothing you can do.
No.
That's just tough luck for the Diamondbacks and Barry Enright, one out base runner.
So here's Cody Ross. Seven home runs, 46 batted in. Ryle holds the runner on at first. And the slow breaking ball, 0-1 the count. Ryle at first base, including the minor leagues. He has started only 6 games at first base. Minors, majors, learning on the fly.
It's not quite as easy as people think. Got to know your bunt plays. You got to know a lot of cutoff positioning. Another 0-2 count here for Enright.
Mark Reynolds told us that the other day when we did the show featuring the first baseman, Adam LaRoche. Reynolds was there a couple of dozen times last year, and he said, and I quote, "I hated it. I did not enjoy my time at first at all. And he said, you know, you think you just go over there and you catch the ball from the other infielders. That's not the case.
No.
So Reynolds, much, much more respect for that position. Good chase. Fastball up and out of the zone. He hit his spot, too. You could see Montero coming out of his crouch. I need it up. Enright got it there.
Right exactly where Montero wanted it, up and out of the zone. Nothing Cody Ross, and he's a good fastball hitter. He's not going to hit one that tall. Good pitch.
Well, he's 20 years old as he digs in. Enright, you can see the first pitch strikes that he has thrown already. And that one is low to Mike Stanton. 5 home runs, 20 batted in, hitting .236 in the major leagues. Mika Insurance, the pitches he has seen, not too many so far, but away for the dangerous hitter. Be careful, though. He was pitched away and he homered over the pool.
Say, I think I got these big old boys, these big old pachyderms like Mike Stanton. I think you got to crowd them. I think you got to stay inside on him. Don't let him get those big arms extended.
Like this?
When they get extended, bang! It tends to go a long, long ways.
And that is an absolute smash to the opposite field. Be careful here, 2-0. Look at Montero going in. He missed low, 3-0 the count. Well, Enright came from the Southern League. Stanton came from the Southern League. I would imagine he's, before watching him in the first 3 games of this series, very well aware of who he is. Enright pitched very well down in Double-A, 4-1 with a .288 ERA. But Stanton hit .313 with 21 homers as well down in Double-A this year. It's just about the All-Star break in Double-A. Three and 1. And again, you love this.
Hey! Look out! Marlins are sent flying by this big old boy. Good breaking ball on 3-1.
That's the slider. He throws a slider. He throws a curveball. The difference, this one a little bit harder, shorter.
Beautifully done. I think another one of those might be the recipe. Uggla's going to be off on the pitch, 3-2 with 2 outs.
Montero decoy him, and he didn't go after.
He threw it, but he didn't go after. That one was about 6 inches more outside, and he didn't get the swing.
Miggy trying to deke him by stomping on the inside part of the plate. Miguel likes that move. Ronnie Paulino now. It was about a month ago that as Paulino digs in with Sanabia on deck. These two pitchers, Sanabia and Enright, battled in a Double-A game as that one is outside. Either pitcher received a decision. Mobile won it 6-3. 5 2/3 innings. Sanabia gave up 3 runs in 6 1/3 innings. Enright gave up 1 run. 9 strikeouts. Jacksonville against Mobile. Montero ready to get him going. I love that young man. Keep playing. Get outside and keep playing. Outside, 2-0 the count. Now Paulino, 286, 3 homers, 30 RBIs. Is very quiet so far in July, just 3 of 25. Enright starts to sweat through that red cap.
Well, all of a sudden he's falling behind now. Going to have to find a way to make a pitch here.
You get the pitcher on deck. Curveball. Bigger break, as you can see, about 75 miles an hour. 2-1 the count. Ronnie just 1 of 9 against the Diamondbacks this year. Breaking ball, big aggressive swing, and he chops it into the seats.
Got a big 9th inning hit last night off of Chad Qualls, a 2-run single.
And that's the one, and it nearly cost the Diamondbacks the ball game if it weren't for Juan Gutierrez, who came in. As you said, that's slamming the door, and he did. Oh, we've seen curveballs and fastballs here to Paulino. He hasn't thrown him the slider yet. The count is 2-2. Fastball. Buried it in.
Good pitch.
These are the pitches that he throws. We mentioned all of them. We'll show you the grips here at some point this afternoon. He shared those with us a couple of days back. 2-2 the count. Doubled up on him, Paulino ready, rocket shot, put Gerardo Parras there. That tried to go inside twice. Paulino was ready. Can't hit it any harder. Mom looking on, proud of Barry Enright. Quite sure what that sign said. Sure it said,
"We love you, Darren."
Yeah. You're my guy, Sutton, it said.
That's what most of the signs say around here.
Yeah, right. It said, you're my guy, Gracie. Our text poll, 36929, A or B. Who will win the 2010 All-Star Game? The National League or the American League? Text it on in, 36929. So who will win? Not who do you want to win. Who will win? Strike one to Stephen Drew. That's the question. I want the National League to win.
I always want the National League to win. I never played a day in the American League.
Stephen with a changeup. Rockets that one up into the seats. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Do you feel like you missed out?
No. I have zero regrets at all about my career. I've 13 wonderful years in Chicago, and the rest here, no regrets.
There's a rare breaking ball. Haven't seen too many of those. A slider. Every time a Diamondback hits a home run this season, Fulton Homes will donate $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Oh, what a pitch.
Strike 3 over the inside corner. Miss Maureen Enright standing by down below. Mark McClune is sitting with her. Mom, let's bring you on.
Yep, you can feel the excitement. You can feel the nerves down here in the Enright section. This is Maureen Enright. We're looking right up there. She has got her sign. She's watching her son pitch. What is it like seeing your son pitch in a big league game?
Well, it's unbelievable. I really don't know how to explain it. Every single time I've seen him so far, I'm as nervous as the first time, and I just think it's kind of like, how does he do that, you know? How do you go out and do that? I am just in awe of what he does.
What does this day mean to the family and all your friends? I mean, you have a pretty big section here.
These are very, very close friends, friends that are really our family, and I couldn't think of spending this day with anyone better. It's just, they are very, very special people to all of us, very included, and we saw him last night. He came to visit us at the hotel, and everybody just loves to be with them. It's just a great feeling.
And you yourself from overseas, so this is a game that's being watched all over the world?
Well, I have 2 brothers and a sister, and we're a very international family. I have my one brother's in Indonesia, and I have my sister who lives in Scotland, but she's actually in Dubai with her husband and son. They live there part-time. And then I have another brother who's in the north of England. So I'm sure they're all in their various time zones trying to get the game and listen to it. So they're the same way. They just can't believe it. We've all waited for this day, never knowing if it would come, and it's like, really, it's crazy.
And just real quick, he used to wear a Superman outfit everywhere he went as a kid.
Oh, sorry, Barry. Barry was Superman from the age of 3 to 6. He was known in Stockton as Superman. No one ever saw him in clothes other than Superman. So we've always had a little... every time we see Superman, everyone thinks of Barry. So, yes, he would have the full cape and the boots and the lycra suit. And so every time since he's made his debut, I've been seeing Superman signs everywhere. So I feel that those are God hugs for me.
Well, certainly. Thanks for sharing the day with us. Brother Alex sitting behind us. And then your other son is camping, so he's missing this.
Camping. Sorry, Danny, you had a ticket, but he didn't come.
Missed the chance to be on TV.
This. Danny would have just loved this, but he's very proud of his brother, and I'm sure he'll be at a lot of games in the future. All
right, well, enjoy yourself and get those signs up there. As 2 outs here in the second inning, and Barry Enright pitching pretty well, guys.
Well done, Mark McClune. What a classy mom. Honored to have her here. And that one lifted into left field. Mara is there to make the play for the out. So with Mom looking on, and of course at least one brother here. That man looks to get back out, camp out on the mountain for a while. nights away on Tuesday night. The baseball's very best going toe-to-toe in Anaheim, Orange County, California. It's Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, 5 o'clock, only on Fox. Chris Young, All-Star representing the Diamondbacks. Looking forward to seeing that, how he handles that opportunity. It should be a lot of fun. Sanabia takes the strike over the outside corner. Alex Sanabia. Barry Enright, Mom Maureen looking on, goes back to work. You can see just one plate appearance, one sack bunt. In the minor leagues in his career, 1 for 19 with 15 strikeouts.
Oh, my goodness. That's just flat out awful.
The 1-1.
Looked a little hitterish there. But he's got 2 strikes, so go ahead and just mail it in, folks. The strikeout's coming this pitch. I think if you put a wrinkle in it, you take all the fun out of it right here. Oh, he put a wrinkle in it, but he hung it.
Yeah, he sped up his bat. When you hang a breaking ball, you speed up a slow bat, and you don't want to do that. 1-2 the count. It's good to hear from Barry's mom.
Seems like a very pleasant lady.
The 1-2. Fastball, ground ball, Reynolds. In time for the out.
Give me an opportunity to tell all you folks to bring the kids down to Chase Field on Sunday, July 25th for a concert with the Wiggles following the D-backs game against the Giants. Buy the Wiggles 4-pack for just $40. Get 4 tickets to the game and concert plus 20 D-bucks to use on food and drinks. Get the Wiggles 4-pack at dbacks.com/concert. Dorothy the dinosaur will be there. Wags the dog.
Henry.
Oh, Henry the octopus.
Oh, I love him.
And Captain Feathersword. He's big league.
I'm very excited for that concert.
The big red car will be there.
It'll all be there. Fly ball, center field, Coghlan. And the play is made out there. You know, we heard from Barry's mom, and I would imagine by now, if you've followed at all the early parts of his career here in the big leagues, you know when he was 13, brothers were 6 and 7, he lost his father. And so I think you have an awful lot more respect when you know that part of listening to mom. She raised 3 boys by herself, and that's why she said our friends are like family to us. Literally. All gathered around. When he made his major league debut in St. Louis, 2 of his father's best friends attended.
Yeah, that's a great story. A lot of Stockton down here today.
That's exactly right, from Stockton, California. One and one the count. Wes Helms, or Big Tex, as his mates like to call him. It's a fly ball to right. Barry R. Enright sits him down. 1, 2, 3. We move along, and as we do so, it's time to learn about baseball with D-Back to Basics, presented by the Arizona Plumbing and Cooling Contractors.
Outreach, and we're here with Diamondback legend Luis Gonzalez. Gonzo, welcome up to Futures Field. We're going to talk about your routine as you start your at-bat from the on-deck circle. What did you do?
Well, I started preparing myself in the on-deck circle by watching the pitcher, watching all the pitches that he has. And as I walked towards the plate, when my turn came up for my at-bat, I always had a routine that I like to use. I would clear the batter's box out my first time up, tap the catcher, draw my line, tap the plate 3 times, get out of the batter's box, and take 2 practice swings. And that was what that was doing, was preparing me to get ready for battle up there against that pitcher. It was starting to get my wheels spinning to know what I had to do to prepare myself to get ready to go.
Talk about that line that you drew. What did you use that line for?
Well, that line for me, because I was a dive hitter, I used an open stance, and when I would come in, I never wanted to cross over because then I'd lock my body up. If that pitch came inside, I couldn't get through the ball. So I would draw the line, almost telling myself to stay straight up with the pitcher so I can get to that pitch on the inner half of the plate, which was my strength. I used to like that ball middle in to try to hook it up in the seats.
Did you ever step out of the box for any reason to gather your thoughts?
I did, and there was times where the pitcher would do something different to try to throw you off, or if they take a long time giving signals and things like that. But if you pay attention at a big league ball game watching the D-backs, just about every player has a routine that they use when they go to the plate.
Don't forget to check out our complete camp schedule at dbacks.com/camps. That's your D-Back to Basics tip of the week. We'll see you next time.
Strike one over the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Jeff Roden doing a nice job there with Luis Gonzalez. Enright takes strike two. 0 for 3 with one sac bunt. In the minor leagues, 21 of 59, 356 with a homer, 5 RBIs. So I need more than the 0 for 3. I need some hits. It's time.
Well, this is major league pitching.
All right. He's getting ready. Drive one in the gap somewhere. Playing in very shallow out there. Cody Ross, very shallow. Here we go. 2-2 the count.
He's got an idea up there, doesn't he?
Oh, he definitely. He can hit. Those numbers don't lie. It's 21 minor league hits at 356 average. Hop that one up.
Yeah. Those are minor league numbers.
All right, so we were following routines. Luis Gonzalez talking about his. I would imagine you had a routine. Here comes Young walking up to the plate, and some don't. Some just hop in the box and hit. Let's see if he has one. Now we'll know it's a routine after we watch this time that he steps in, and then maybe the next 100 or 150 times. And we'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that.
Swing and a miss, strike one. So if you happen to be maybe taking a summer trip, check back with us in August.
Most of my routine was in the on-deck circle.
Which consisted of?
Just... It's tough to explain without showing. So I'll just use the donut. I never used that weighted bat right there. I always used the bat I was using with the donut. And it was, that's a nice piece of hitting there. Beautiful piece of hitting by Chris Young. But I usually took 5 swings with the donut, took the donut off, took 5 swings. And then once it was my turn to hit, there really wasn't much of a routine getting in the box. Gonzo took a long time to get in the box. He had this whole draw the line and then get out and take a couple swings and get back in. It took him a while.
It's very Yankee-like of him.
He could have been he ended up beating the Yankees, thankfully.
Yes,
with
absolutely.
that last base hit. But yeah, he had a bit of a long routine prior to getting in the box.
Speaking of the Yankees, too, with a lot of respect and a heavy heart, the Yankees we kid with a lot of drama step into the box. They've been known for it. Their games are longer. They take their time, and maybe you should as well if you were a Yankee. But the man who brought them onto the world stage at the old Yankee Stadium, and who still, as a recorded element, brings Derek Jeter to the plate to this day, passed away. And Bob Shepard, it was always an honor to go and call games at Yankee Stadium and to listen to him announce not only the starting lineup but every batter. Rest in peace, Mr. Shepard.
100 years young. He was still very upset that he didn't get his perfect Rob Roy after that 0-1 World Series Game 7.
Pitch is high, 1-1 the count. Kelly singled, stole a base, part of a frustrating offensive inning in the first. Young walked, swiped the bag. Johnson singled. Runners were on first and third, eventually stole a base, but Upton popped out, so did Montero, and Reynolds struck out. That's why that 0 is still next to the Diamondbacks. Nice take on a changeup. 2-1 the count to Kelly. Well, what a difference a year makes. We can talk about Chris Young, and we should. Look at the differences in the RBIs and the batting average for Kelly. Native Texan awaits a 2-1. Ground ball, 4-6-3. Mercedes-Benz Supercenter located at Scottsdale Road and Loop 101 or drivethebest.com. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go Ford. Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Well, we're going to do it again. I know that you were saying goodbye, Gracie, but don't say goodbye so soon because I know you're heading out on Wednesday or Tuesday morning, first thing Tuesday morning out to the All-Star game. You and I heading down the Salt River.
The Salt River first.
The last off day. We have the video camera. Appreciate our guys back in tape. Go ahead and loading it in. That's going to be this evening, and then right after that in the morning, down to Rocky Point.
Down to Rocky Point for a good day and a half, 2 days, until I have to, unfortunately, head to the All-Star game.
You're going to come right back, though? It's a 4-day break.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing it for who? DirecTV?
DirecTV. DirecTV 3-dimensional.
So Gracie calling the game in 3D. It's a big-time operation that they'll, get you back and forth to Rocky Point.
Yeah, that's nice of them. They're sending the private jet.
And you and I will just drive back to San Diego.
Yes.
So the 0-2 to Hanley Ramirez. Bouncing ball. Knocks it down. Can he recover? Nope. It's the wise decision holding on to it.
He tried to snare it, couldn't quite do it. And Hanley Ramirez just runs way too well.
So Ramirez is on. And we're going to rent that big house in Los Conchas. We're going to head out after a hard day's work to Manny's for a few cold ones down there.
I love that spot. Boy, we almost got kicked out of there last time we were there.
Talk about that another time. Like when the mics aren't on. Scoreless ball game, top of the fourth inning.
It's a good thing you're fluent in Spanish. You saved our bacon.
Jorge Cantu. Of Mexican descent, grew up in Texas. 1-0 the count to Jorge. One double play rolled up in those first couple of outings. He's had 11 opportunities to do so. He has pitched thus far as a fly ball pitcher, and that has held true in this game as well.
Oh, good breaking ball there to even the count.
1-1 the count to Cantu. This year in Mobile, Barry made 14 starts, was 4-1 with a 2.88 ERA. 83 strikeouts, 15 walks. About a 6-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Arizona's second round pick in 07 out of Pepperdine. A couple of picks ahead of Mike Stanton.
Don't get hurt, Rusty.
Cantu grounded out to short back in the second inning. Runner goes. It's a ball. It's a foul ball, so we'll do it again. So anyway, the break opens up. And then after the break, it's, well, for us, from Rocky Point to San Diego. And San Diego Padres for 3.
And right back home.
And right back home. The New York Mets for 3. They've got a lot to play for right now, as do the San Francisco Giants for 4. Be a nice homestand. And then for the Diamondbacks, Gracie and I, it's off to Philadelphia and New York. Take on the Phillies, the New York Mets.
I'm sure the Fanatics got something clever to embarrass me with again this year.
I sure hope so. The 1-2. Pitch is low. 2-2 the count. And then I think we all watch very closely, don't we, baseball fans, to see when Steven Strasburg is given a start coming out of the break, if it's the first game, the second game, or if there are rainouts, what we pull for, because Washington comes for 4 games.
Right now we're scheduled to miss him. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I want to see him. This Aztecs got to stick together. Look out, Barry Enright. Boy, Montero nearly just beheaded him with that throw. Take a look, see. Wow, that was close. He almost took a baseball right in the kisser.
Fouled that one off at home plate. 3-2 the count.
Just able to nick it foul, and that one got a piece of the right foot of Miguel Montero. He's a tough cookie, though. He's just fine. And Barry Enright back to business.
Do it again with a full count. With some nice plays being made down there.
Who have we got down there this afternoon?
Well, it's funny you would ask. Well, that's Dave Neville down there.
Oh, hi, Dave. Nice job.
And Bob Schmidt down the right side. Bob's got his credential on down there.
Does he?
They're going on a flight with Casey Wilcox.
Yeah, he likes that. Casey Wilcox likes that credential, doesn't he?
One of the
Hi, I'm Casey.
One of the fine media relations members. Great job traveling with the team. Hang in there, Bob. Here's Casey. I mean, we could be over Kansas flying to Tampa. Casey. Still Casey. Hi, I'm Casey.
Hi, can I help you? Casey. Very proud. Carrier of that credential for the Diamondbacks, as he should be.
At the UL Washington look going there. That one is belted to right field. Sending Upton back. Reaching up. He can't haul it in. Sending the runner on down. The relay. Oh, my goodness. Right to Enright. Has a play at third. Can't make it. A relay throw that was nowhere close, hitting the pitcher, which is where he should be, backing up. You don't like to hit that pitcher on the fly, though. And Upton frustrated. You could hear him holler after he didn't catch this ball.
Yeah, it looked like he thought he was going to get it. He couldn't. And then Young comes in, does a good job of hitting the cutoff man, and then, whoa! Kelly Johnson way over the top of everybody. That'll go as an error. And an extra 90 feet for Jorge Cantu.
Double, RBI, and an error on the second baseman. And Florida leads it 1-0. Bouncing ball toward the hole into left field. That run across the plate.
Once again, Barry Enright. Once the bleeding starts, he's had a little trouble stopping it. And it's that first pitch fastball that these opponents are starting to pick on.
We've got a good trivia question for you, though. That'll turn that frown upside down, folks. Brought to you by AT&T. Name the last 5 All-Star Home Run Derby winners. When did Gonzo win? That's the last Diamondback to participate.
01 or 02.
Okay.
By the way, have they changed the format of that home run derby? Like remember the year that Josh Hamilton hit all those home runs, but yet he didn't win? Justin Morneau ended up winning because, it's different rounds and all that. Yeah, that's weak. I hate the format. Love the home run contest. They just gotta go total homers. Don't you think?
No.
Well, once again.
Well, what if you hit 28 and then you're on through to the finals and the guy you're facing hits 7? Finals are meaningless at that point.
It doesn't. Yeah, that means the guy should have to hit 21 more homers than you in the finals.
Yep. 1-1 the count.
So you didn't think Josh Hamilton deserved to win that home run contest?
I think
in Yankee Stadium.
I think he deserves to maybe win the MVP this year.
I'd like you to answer my question, though. I mean, do you think Josh Hamilton deserved to win the home run contest at Yankee Stadium?
No.
Well, you've been wrong a lot lately.
1-1 the count. I mean, I'm a big fan in baseball that if you score like 13 runs in the 9th inning, that those should count for the next game too.
That's absolutely zero comparison. That's like, it's like comparing a mule to a thoroughbred.
That's well said.
Thank you. One's just out to pull the plow, the other one's to win races.
Two and one the count. Bouncing ball to short. 6, 4, 3. There's Rusty with the dig. There we go. Only his 6th start in professional baseball at first base and a double play. I mean, maybe they should, if there were 2 outs there and you hit a ground ball like that, maybe you go ahead and turn the double play and count the out towards the next inning.
Well, you really can't do that. The bottom line is, and I know most folks agree with me, it's a terrible format for the home run contest.
I agree with you 100%.
And it needs to improve.
1-0 the count to Mike Stanton.
And I like the fact that trivia answer came out. Or the trivia, not the answer, was driven to left field. But there's plenty of room for a robot. Call your senator. Call your congressman. Tell them they've got to change the rules of that home run contest. Let the deserving guys win it.
And if they don't vote this time, they'll count it for the next time. Well, despite the fact that the rules are perfect and fabulous in the Home Run Derby, and some of you might disagree, the last 5 All-Star Home Run Derby winners: Prince Fielder, Justin Morneau, Vlad Guerrero, Ryan Howard, and Bobby Abreu. Justin Upton against Sanabia takes a breaking ball in. So the rules great at the Home Run Derby. 1-0 the count.
Terrible rules.
Oh, you're back. Sorry. Guys in the truck, don't tell him what I said while he was walking back in the booth. 1-1 the count. Two runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Marlins. 2 left on base. For the Diamondbacks, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base.
Let's answer that trivia question. Unfortunately, in a terrible ruling a couple of years ago, Justin Morneau won a home run contest, so he's got to be one of the winners. In a sham.
Now when it's chopped foul.
Oh, we already gave them. Who were they?
I'm not allowed to tell you. It's a secret. Bobby Abreu is one.
Yeah. Oh boy, he went off in Detroit. That's right.
Prince Fielder.
Prince Fielder won?
Mm-hmm. Justin Upton, line drive center field. It's a base hit. So Upton off to the races. Got to have him going here.
Absolutely. Fastball down. Justin goes down. Rips it into center field. Nicely done. So Prince Fielder, Bobby Abreu, Justin Morneau. Where was the game last year?
St. Louis, wasn't it?
St. Louis. I think we won it last year.
One and 0 the count. Miguel Montero. I can't remember them all. They just showed me the names and I don't remember.
I don't know. It's just terrible format, so it really doesn't matter.
1-0 the count. Miggy popped out. back in the first inning to second base. Couple of runners on. Big swing. Too much there for Miggy, he'll tell you. 1-1 the count. Montero. Well, we told you about the trip to Spain and all over Europe and Italy and the great places he took his lovely wife in the offseason. I think he's going on a jet to the moon over the All-Star break. Bring his wife along.
Bring his beautiful wife.
Make us all look terrible again. Miguel, where'd you go over the break? Well, he and the wife went on the space shuttle. We went to the moon. Stayed at a beautiful resort up there. What'd you do, Darren? No, went to Rocky Point with Grayson. The 1-1.
Floated down the Salt River.
Not very big league, are you, Darren? No, not like you.
Can't afford to go to the moon.
One and two the count. 2-0 the score. Wouldn't chase a fastball that sinks low from Sanabia. Sanabia in his career in the minor leagues, 24-18, 66 starts, a 3.81 ERA. Nice strikeout to walk ratio in his entire minor league career of 3-1. Last outing he pitched out of the bullpen. This is his first major league start. He pitched against the Dodgers, 3 innings, 1 run in Dodger Stadium. Miguel gives it a ride, left center field, tracking his loss. Going back, looking up, and he's there. I think he came up just a little bit short, deepest part of the ballpark.
Ross knows right where he is. He just looks up and makes a play. Had plenty of room.
Don't forget, anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink. And they do so between 4 and 6 the next day at participating locations. Marlins scoring their 2 runs in the 4th. Diamondbacks trying to answer back. Mark struck out back in the first inning. 13 of his 20 home runs in the first half have come here at home. See the biggest difference there in batting average for Reynolds.
Yeah, pretty similar the other way.
Last night, you can see Reynolds leaning on one. The 1-1. Right over the head of the shortstop, Hanley Ramirez. So Mark Reynolds with a knuckling line drive. So he is 1 for 2. Now we're talking. All right.
You're ready now, huh?
Here we go.
Fastball middle. Mark Reynolds rips it over the top of Hanley Ramirez. And Diamondbacks got a couple of base runners now.
Stephen Drew struck out looking back in the second inning. Brooke Badenhop is warming in the pen. Again, first major league start. He had gone 3 1/3, 2 innings, and 3 innings. Slapped the other way. Stephen Drew, young dog, stop sign. That one trickles on by Upton. Keeps an eye on it, but decides to stay put. Bases loaded for Arizona with 1 out.
Beautiful hitting there by Stephen Drew. Just stays back, drives it the other way. Unfortunately for the Diamondbacks, he hit it right at Chris Coughlin on one hop, and you have to put the stop sign up there and trust Rusty Ryle to do the job.
Now we're going to have a call to the bullpen. Again, a converted relief pitcher making his first major league start, giving his team 65 pitches. And going to the bullpen, it'll be a Johnny Holstaff kind of day from this point forward. All hands on deck in that Marlins bullpen. Quickly, please. You as a starting pitcher, picking it up for an empty spot in that rotation for Florida. A very admirable job. 65 pitches, leaves the bases loaded, 3 1/3. Drops his ERA from 4.32 in the big leagues to 3.09. Now he puts his trust in Burke Badenhoff, and I would imagine a handful of others down in that pen. The bases are full.
Marlins got out of a huge jam in the first, looking to do the same here in the fourth. As that one sinks low, ball one.
Well, and that's what you're looking for, a pitcher to do just that, if in fact you're the Florida Marlins. If somebody to top one of those sinkers.
And because of that, Rusty Ryle's got to make doubly sure he sees the ball up, high in the zone. It's got to start at least belt high.
Ground ball, 4, 6, 3, double play.
Goodness.
He just picked up his mate there. Badenhoff picking up Sanabia. Ronnie Paulino digs in. Bouncing ball. Leaving his feet, Reynolds from his knees in time. He actually, amazingly enough, made that look easy once he caught the ball.
If there's such a thing as making this play look easy, he sure did, Darren. He's becoming very adept at throwing the baseball across the diamond from his knees. I mean, that ball's right on the button. When do you think Mark Reynolds is going to start getting Gold Glove consideration? Maybe next year?
I think this is the year that he shakes off the early career struggles. He has a reputation as a defender.
Right. That's exactly right. You
got
to
a below-average defender.
You have to earn the right.
We know that's not the case now, but I will still find myself reading discussions on pretty reputable fan websites where they immediately will go to, well, he's not a good defender. Well, he is. And I think after a year, then you're right, Gracie. I think next year, and I think deservedly so. And that man should get a little bit of a share of it.
I don't think there's any question.
Though he, like you, has his very own.
And he takes a lot of pride in this young man's defense, as does Mark Reynolds, and that's where it all starts. Boy, that was quick.
So now he moves to the third time through the lineup and tries to find himself. He realized against the Cubs he's got to make the adjustments.
That third time through the lineup, is something that I'm going to have to get used to, make an adjustment, because I was around the strike zone a lot. And so them being, comfortable is they're going to be aggressive that third time through, and I need to be able to use that aggressiveness to my advantage.
Well, how about that voice?
Sounds like he is ready to join us up here in the booth. Donnie Murphy, by the way, just retired on the strikeout, pinch hitting in the pitcher's spot. Approaching that third time through the order and rolling through it here in the fifth. Let's see, pitch count fine, 74. He averaged nearly 7 innings to start in Double-A. You think they count pitches in the big leagues? You think too much is made of pitch count, folks? In the minor leagues?
Try the minor leagues.
It's under the microscope. So to squeeze in nearly 7 innings to start, you're doing your job. Inside corner, strike 3.
Pretty impressive inning. Needs a few more. Needs the boys to get some hits with runners in scoring position.
Come on, Mom. Get him some runs.
Find out and learn how you can play right here at Chase Field by going to the interactive kiosk near Section 111 during Arizona Diamondback regular season home games.
Wow, what a way to take it into the All-Star break.
I'm ready.
Nice job.
Let's go to the Salt River right now. We're off.
Woo, what a read.
Thank you.
That was great. Listen to him in the booth, too. Everyone's going crazy.
If at first you don't succeed,
go
try
to the
about
Salt River.
15 more times.
Brian Sanchez takes over for the 30th time this year, 3.33 ERA. First batter efficiency, gets about 6 out of every 10. Mark McClune, Mark Grace, my name is Darren Sutton. Sanabia, Badenhop, and Sanchez, Barry Enright. Oh, we're not going anywhere.
Oh, no. You're stuck with us.
You're stuck with us, and we're stuck with each other. And that's just fine by us. That's why the team nice enough to send us on these retreats. 0-1 the count. Change of pace, no balls and 2 strikes. Parra way out front.
Well, this is a big-time change up from Sanchez here. Way out in front is Parra.
One and 2 the count. Of course, the Diamondbacks, one of the fortunate teams to have a 4-day break. Some clubs get back to work on Thursday. The 1-2. Nice take. Boy, that changeup had a knuckleball effect to it. Gillespie's on deck to hit for Enright. You know, when some of those teams start off, by the way, on Thursday, how are we going to be able to watch the games, Gracie, when we're down at Rocky Point?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Because we can take the D-backs with us.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you how.
Oh, boy.
Subscribe to Fox Sports Arizona's coverage of Diamondbacks baseball on MLB.tv. Every game live or on demand on your computer. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Every game, right?
Every single game.
Because I don't want to watch the Diamondbacks. They're not on Thursday.
No. So, I mean, any game we want.
Cole Gillespie takes away. Barry Enright is done. He goes 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 76 pitches. Kirk Gibson saying before the game that he was keeping an eye on his pitches. And he, true to form, has him out of this ball game. A little bit more on this ball game, and the man stepping into the batter's box. Let's bring in Mark McClone. Big Mac?
Yeah, just kind of piecing together some things Chris Young said about the home run derby and playing in the All-Star game the last couple of days. You mentioned that Gracie should go over there and try to do everything he could. Well, he's actually bringing a lot of his friends and family. They're going to Disneyland the day before the game, and in the home run derby, he's going to have an old friend throw into him, a coach from high school named Sid Holland. Now, Kirk Gibson said today, pregame, that yesterday they caught Chris Young practicing for the home run derby during batting practice. How much do you think he's going to have to change his swing to compete in the home run derby?
Well, I hope not a lot.
I was going to say, kind of like the swing he's had this first half.
Gibson went on to say when McClune talked about that he's going to be so pumped up, his heart will be pounding, it's not going to matter.
True.
When some of the members of the media asked Gibby, well, are you worried about in the past guys that have been quoted like Bobby Abreu saying it cost me some time and messed up my swing? Gibson said very clearly he's earned the right to make that decision for himself. Whether or not he wanted to say yes or no, he said he's earned the right now. And he said, it is my hope that he will be all right.
So this is what you don't want.
And after a whole lot of this. That is popped up. Young is done. 1, 2, 3. And Red is done as well. High-speed pitch. Enright, Sanabia both done in this game. And as Gibson told us before the game, managing the innings, the pitches of his young right-hander, he will start in the second half either in the 4 or the 5 slot. And we shall see. It is thought that maybe as Blaine Boyer takes over, it is thought that maybe he will pitch behind Ian Kennedy because it may benefit him to watch a guy like Ian work. That's one of the discussions. We'll see. Meantime, Boyer takes over. 0-1 the count to Big Tex. Wes Helms. Big Tex out of Gastonia, North Carolina.
Fort Worth, Texas.
No. Gastonia, North Carolina. Same area. Grew up near Kevin Millwood.
Huh?
Kevin Millwood and Wes Helms in the same area growing up together.
From North Carolina? Big old fella, and they call him Big Tex, and he's from Gastonia, North Carolina? That doesn't make much sense.
Better nicknames.
Oh, I know. You're always messing with me.
To the bag, Ryle makes the play for the out. Now, Ryle's from Oklahoma. And he loves.
He doesn't like those guys from Texas.
Well,
he likes taking hits away from those Texas guys.
Actually, not from Texas, but he loves retiring a guy from Texas.
Like he just did. Good job there by the
but he's not one
Oklahoma
of them.
boy.
Right, but he's not one of them. He's
Big
from North Carolina.
Between Oklahoma and Texas.
Well, certainly in what's left of the Big 12 there is.
Big 12 survived, didn't it?
It did. They lost to Colorado.
Lost Colorado. Boy. Sure, they're up in arms about that. And Nebraska's leaving too, though, aren't they? Going to the Big 10, which is going to be like the Big 12 soon.
I have a hard time. I just follow the NBA so closely, I can't keep up with all of it. Bouncing ball, middle of the diamond. It deadens out there. Steven off now. It's a good effort, but you knew that once that one got by the pitcher's mound, it was going to be a hit.
Well, you being a big NBA guy, what's your take on LeBron James, Chris Bosh, all going to Miami?
Well, the Big East, I mean, they're going to be pretty good in that basketball program. They're usually known for football, the Hurricanes. But they'll make them good.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the Miami Heat, the NBA team. You know, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James.
Well, now, wait a minute. Dwayne Wade goes to Marquette.
Well, he went to Marquette, yes, but he's had a few years in the NBA now. You didn't hear about all that?
What happened? Well, I've never heard of LeBron James. Did he play anywhere in college?
No, and it's understandable. He's out of a high school in Akron. He's been playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it was kind of a big story that he signed with the Miami Heat. And they're up in arms in Cleveland about it. Pretty good player.
Now, you would think he'd want to play for his team in his home state then.
Well, and a lot of people thought that, including myself. I thought he'd definitely stay loyal to his home state and the place where he grew up. But he went to South Beach.
One of my favorite places to go on baseball road trips is Miami. Actually,
I
one
have
of
a
my
feeling
least.
you're not. I was going to say I have a feeling you're not being real straight with us there. I usually don't like going to South Florida.
For LeBron, they have a good program at Cleveland State in the Horizon League. Maybe he should have gone there.
There's LeBron right there at South Beach.
And Butler's in that Horizon League. A team
no, he can't go back to play college ball now. He's already been in the NBA for a little while. Cleveland State is a terrific program there, as well as Butler. But no, he's out of eligibility. He can't.
The 1-1. Told you I followed the NBA.
And boy, did the Cleveland Cavaliers owner come out with a scathing open letter about his
Now that I
decision.
do know. I do know about him. His name's Dan Gilbert.
Dan Gilbert came out and basically wore him out.
He did. He almost bought the Brewers a few years back, Mr. Gilbert. Little knuckleball on a ground ball. There's one. And thankfully for all our viewers, that is a double play.
Oh, LeBron.
Go to Butler. They finished number 2 in the nation last year. It's a good program.
2-0 Fish, bottom of the 6th inning. Kirk Gibson looking to light a fire under his offense, and he thought he had some fire early in the ball game in the 1st inning. But with 1st and 3rd and nobody out, a pop-up and a bat toss. Then a pop-up and a bat toss. And then a strikeout, and guess what happens, folks? A bat toss. 4th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. 4, 6, 3. So the Diamondbacks have yet to scratch against these fighting fish. Looking for somehow, some way to get one across the dish there, Darren Sutton.
Sanchez goes to work and fires a pitch. Just misses away. Mel Stottlemyre Jr. checking in on that bullpen. Planning ahead. Boy, you're out there working right now. Changeup flutters in there. 2-0 the count to Kelly Johnson. Working on matchups. Seeing what be coming down the bend. Glenn Sherlock, bullpen coach, long-time member of this Diamondback staff. These are all guys, too. You know, you find yourself excited for that coaching staff. All the guys that they get a few days to catch their breath. They grind it.
Recharge their batteries a little bit. Much needed. It's been a tough first half for everybody, especially those coaches who live and die with these fellas.
Hey, Fox Sports Arizona is proud to support Operation Homefront, an organization that provides emergency assistance to families and military service members during the month of July. Be a part of the Back to School Brigade. Donate backpacks and school supplies for the children of military families. Go to foxsportsarizona.com for all Phoenix and Tucson drop-off locations. Stay tuned right after the break. We'll let you know. I'm going to stop by with some tickets and some goodies at one of the locations. And that next homestand, as that one misses away. 1-0 the count to Justin Upton.
5 straight wide ones here to start the bottom of the 6th inning for Sanchez. Nobody up in the Marlin bullpen.
Bouncing ball. Helms. Ugly. And 2 double play. 5-4-3. So just like that, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that brings up Miguel Montero. We'll see it again.
Fastball middle. Justin pulls off of it. Big old boy out of San Antonio starts the 5-4-3 double play. Wes Helms.
The Ugles, a young man out of Memphis State, he was part of turning it. Or Memphis as they call it now. And Wes Helms from North Carolina started that double play. Here's Miguel Montero from Venezuela, but all of his family tree, all of his heritage is from Spain. So I would imagine he's a happy man today.
I guess the proud country of Spain won the World Cup today.
Miguel, fly ball center field, going back is Ross. Well, after a walk, double play, and a fly out. We roll along to the 7th. games of the Florida Marlins. State Farm brings us our out-of-town scoreboard. A quick peek into some other games in the big leagues. The New York Mets beat the Atlanta Braves 3-0. Derek Lowe came up empty in that one. Johan Santana was the winning pitcher. You can see what ASU alum Mike Davis did. Philadelphia's Cole Hamels, too much for the Cincinnati Reds. The San Diego Padres slugging it out right now with the Colorado Rockies. In the bottom of the 8th inning, we will hear from those clubs.
Well, Dusty Baker's got to get those bats going in Cincinnati. Back-to-back 1-0 shutout losses in Philadelphia. Man,
Sam Demmel takes over. I don't know what's going on. He'll get them going. White Sox, by the way, beat the Royals 15-5. Andrew Jones, his 400th career home run. Carlos Quentin with a huge game as well.
Well, the Sox just cannot lose a baseball game.
The National League Central. You can see St. Louis one back. Let's see, Milwaukee. They rallied to beat Pittsburgh 6-5. If only they could play Pittsburgh all the time.
They're done.
I got to make it a move in the second half still. I'm back in with them.
It's not a bad thought. They just can't pitch.
They'll go get someone.
They need to go get about 6 guys because their pitching staff as a whole is kind of sneaky.
I had to check to see when they play the Pirates again.
Think Pittsburgh's going to make a move?
High fly. Demmel deals to Ugla. Young tracking the All-Star. Puts it away. So we go from the Central to the National League Eastern Division. And Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia still being looked at as teams with possibilities. Your thoughts?
Well, Atlanta just continues to pitch. They lost today to New York. A must-win there for the New York Mets behind Johan Santana. Bobby Cox, you just knew he was going to make some noise in his swan song, Darren Sutton. You just knew it.
Mile high, Demmel gets a pop-up. Coming on in, Ryle. Rusty stays with it. By the way, the Brew Crew checking the schedule. They've got 4 with the Pirates right after the break.
They play the Pirates about every other day.
That's what's
all
getting
year.
them back in. So now the West. We'll see the most of these teams. Boy, everyone's in it.
Colorado making a big move.
Who do you like?
I like the Rockies. They're starting to get a little bit healthier. You got Houston Street now saving ball games for them.
That's a good call. They're a second-half team over the last almost half-decade now. I'll tell you who I like. As soon as they get Prince Fielder, I really like the Giants. Bouncing ball, Stanton.
Hey, Derek, can you tell the All-Star break's coming? Because that was a 5-pitch inning.
Yes, it was.
Think the boys are sniffing the barn.
What time are the flights today for everyone? Certainly glad to have all of you with us. And glad to have you with us for the ballpark experience here at Chase Field, as you have been throughout the first half as we head into the second half. We stay here for God Bless America. Bobby Freeman. side of the box. Guyleen Hoyle, very blessed. The $1 million grand slam on this date in 1999. Jay Bell hit it. He knew it. They all knew it in the ballpark. Last year we had a chance to, in the 10th inning, great television show, visit her, reunite Jay and the family. How about that? Being able to knock a homer out and knowing as you do it, someone wins $1 million.
$1 million. That's a lot of money. That's like a week's pay for you.
Come on now. You know better than that. Jose Veras goes to work. So she picked the inning and the player.
Inning and player.
Before the game.
Wow. That is really a cool story. They said the odds of that happening, something like that, is like you got a better chance of winning the lottery like 5 times.
Bell fouled off a bunch of pitches in that at bat.
Swinging at balls everywhere, trying not to walk. Oh, man, what a night that was. Never forget it. Oh, I wasn't here yet, my bad. Saw it a lot on, like, television, though.
Reynolds with the ground ball. 1-2 the count. It's a foul ball. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Marlins. No runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Diamondbacks. A lot of those Diamondbacks are sneaking out West Coast way, not necessarily going to the All-Star game, but when you open in San Diego,
yeah, go stick your toes in the sand.
Get out there a little bit early.
Oh, baby.
Good looking breaking ball, and Reynolds is locked up.
It's an old-fashioned bowel locker there. Yikes.
Stephen Drew digs in. Fouls that one off at the plate. Babe Ruth made his debut on this date in baseball history. 1914.
As a pitcher? Or a hitter?
I would imagine he made it as a pitcher.
With the Boston Red Sox.
But he could hit right away. And of course, Nono Nanette followed. And there was a need to make a trade. Ted Williams breaking his elbow in the All-Star game in 1950. Stu Miller blown off the mound to balk. That was in Candlestick.
I bet you they've changed that rule since then.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah. You're allowed to, because, well, I was at bat during a do-over one time as Stephen Drew strikes out. You know, sometimes back in Chicago, they had this thing called the Air and Water Show. And they get a lot of F-14s and F-16s and old-fashioned war, you know, like Red Baron type era airplanes. Well, you know, these fly guys, they like to buzz the tower of stadiums and stuff like that. Well, Wrigley Field doesn't stand near as high as like Chase Field. It's not a tall park. Well, a group of about 4 of those rascals, when I was up to bat and the pitcher was in his stretch, buzzed the tower. Right by the light standards, and it scared me. And the pitcher, he didn't step off. He just lost his mind out there. They didn't call a balk.
Okay.
Didn't call a balk. So they've changed that rule. And that is a true story.
That's a great story.
That's a true story.
The Air and Water
and there's footage of it.
We'll have to show it to the folks in the second half.
Mark Reed, our fine producer, I'm sure, has got it.
Broken bat, ground ball to short. Hanley Ramirez. Veras a very quiet until that 1-2-3 inning.
half of the season. It's Sunday, so time to take a look at our Good Sport of the Week presented by the Professional Firefighters Association of Arizona. This week's Good Sport is Tim Tebow. That's right, since he was 15, Tebow has been visiting an orphanage in the Philippines. He and his family have raised over $300,000 for the orphanage. It's called Uncle Dick's Cabin. The Tebows found out about a girl that was abandoned, left for dead. She is now in college. Like many of the kids they've helped out at Uncle Dick's Cabin. Tim Tebow and his family members. Our Good Sport of the Week presented by the Professional Firefighters Association of Arizona. Guys, just about a month until NFL training camp start. What's the scouting report on each of your favorite teams?
I think the Cardinals they've already set sail for the Super Bowl. It's the Matt Leinart era. He looks good. I've been out there watching him. He looks real good. Benny Wells is ready to kill people. He's going to be breaking face masks. And Big Darnell Dockett hammering people out there.
I'll tell you this right now, Gracie. I know you're excited, but we were just here a couple of weeks back in Detroit at the Comerica Park, home field for the Tigers. And I'll tell you this about the Lions, is that one is a hard ground ball, a foul ball.
What are you going to tell me about the Lions?
Did you see how beautiful Ford Field was?
It's a beautiful stadium.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
It is a beautiful stadium. Unfortunately, they have a terrible team that plays in it.
That is my demolition man. Demolition man.
I like that a lot. I'll tell you what, Tim Tebow, our Good Sport, I like that. Mark McClune did a great job. The only guy that deserved to read that more would have been my former partner, Tom Brenneman.
Really?
Boy, you talk about a guy that is a big Tim Tebow fan. Remember him gushing over Tim Tebow as that was tapped to third base.
Nice job, Mark Reynolds, turning it into an out.
In the Sugar Bowl a few years back against Hawaii.
I think I remember that.
Man.
I don't think I watched it. I remember you telling me about it.
Not the Sugar Bowl. It was the championship game.
But because Tommy went to Florida, right? He was a Gator?
Well, no. He went to Ohio University. Really hasn't spent a day of his life in Florida, as far as living there. Oh, my goodness. It was something else. Something to behold. Big Tim Tebow fan.
Well,
Big Mac did a great job with it.
10-year veteran Mike Lamb out of Cal State Fullerton.
A Titan.
He was a Titan. Sam Demmel, a Horned Frog, went to TCU.
How about a guy that went to South Alabama? The Diamondbacks are going to retire Luis Gonzalez, number 20 on Saturday. That's a good thing. That's August 7th during a pregame ceremony. The first 15,000 fans at the game will get a Gonzo bobblehead courtesy of Chase. 602-462-4794 is the number to call, or log on to dbacks.com for tickets.
Don't forget to drop us an email if you get a chance to foxsportsarizona.com. We'll get caught up over the All-Star break, take a peek at some, read them on the air in the second half. Just got a great note from Doug DeWitt in New Mexico. Doug stopped by to visit. It's a chopper and it's a foul ball. He says a lot of things, and by the way, Doug, I agree with everything you say. But one of the things that he speaks about in the email is he's ready for a Donnybrook.
Oh, man, you know what? That's the way to take it on into the break. Just a big, maybe, 8th inning fisticuffs. Don't you think?
Well, you know how I feel about that.
One right in the ribs right here, probably get one going. Almost.
Well, let's see. Legends race. There we go. 2-1 now. The odds on a Donnybrook. Yes. Good time fun. Well, we always have good time fun. Always have it.
Attaboy, Mikey.
Boy, Grace, you're 75-1 in the race.
He knows that he's probably in on the conspiracy with you and Derek Hall and the rest of the fine folks here at Chase Field as that one's tapped foul.
Well, he is just dialed in. He is all set for everything. He's got his San Diego City shirt on.
San Diego City College.
Ready to roll over there for his All-Star break. Then we'll see him at Petco, where he will have no more optimism at all about Gracie's chances to win the race. I'm looking for even odds soon for a brawl.
Just need a rib ball here sometime soon.
But a great note.
I mean a big Pier 6 brawl.
The 2-2.
Like Easter Sunday back in 2003. Woo! Boy, that was, you talk about a Donnybrook.
Good
We
one.
had one in St. Louis. Miguel Batista, Tino Martinez started it, and the rest of the Diamondbacks and Cardinals finished it. Man, that was good. That wasn't one where we were out there singing and holding hands.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. Nice play. Did they get him? Yes. Kelly Johnson gets Mike Lamb.
We call him hard throwing Kelly Johnson. Just ahead of Mike Lamb for out number 2.
By the way, we got another email through FoxSportsArizona.com. It's Michael Madden. And he has informed us about the Legends race. He's curious as Chris Coughlin swings through that when he says, did we miss the Racing Legends today, or have they been halted until the Gaming Commission investigates racing improprieties? Where is it?
Here, Mike. There is racing improprieties. I mean, this is as fixed as professional wrestling.
Well,
Look at this. This is an embarrassment to my family. Jackson, Preston, being teased at summer school. They didn't do anything wrong. It's not their fault. Poor guys.
Well, but their large-headed dad certainly did.
Come home beat up, lunch money stolen, all because I can't win a race in the Legends race. Have to put ice on cut lips all the time. What happened today, son? Well, you tell me. You're the one that lost. I'm sorry, kids. Blame your Uncle Darren and the rest of these co-conspirators. They're the ones getting you roughed up at school. Mom can't go to the grocery store. She's getting roughed up.
Hello, fine sir. Good to have you and your family at the game. Hang in there. It's almost the break. We look forward to seeing all of you in the second half. Beat him with the fastball. Is it playable? Reynolds racing, still going with a slide. Runs out of room. Good effort. Them a last time out in that 10-4 win a couple of days ago against the Marlins. Went 2 scoreless innings, a pair of scoreless innings. You see Mark running out of room. Knowledgeable D-backs fans know that if you're sitting in the first couple of rows and Reynolds comes your way, he may be coming to sit with you. We saw him 4 times last year dive over walls, onto concrete, into seats to catch foul pops. Yes, he went around. Boy, Sam looked sharp. Excellent outing by right-hander Sam Demmel. Getting comfortable here in the big leagues. Looking forward to his second half. Also looking forward to some runs.
Chase Field. It is 2-0 Marlins, still going to the bottom of the 8th inning. That man right there, he is in charge of your Chase Roberts. Cool play of the day. It was a couple days ago. Look out! Wow! Bang! Scattered in the bullpen. I can't get enough of this, Darren Sutton. That's my kind of ball player.
Wow,
right
look
there.
at this.
Running through a wall.
Holy smokes.
For his teammates. That's my kind of ball player right there.
That is a great
Mike
Chaz
Stanton.
Roberts. A great Chaz Roberts cool play.
I don't think Leo Nunez likes it too much. But that was big league. That wasn't enough times. I think we need to see a couple more.
Well, they just pieced it together over and over and over for you.
Beautiful.
Breaking ball is inside. 1-1 the count. Clay Hensley takes the ball. Now, you can see a rebuilt career, certainly. Spent the year last year in the minor leagues trying to rebuild things. A couple of years ago, pitching in the big leagues for the San Diego Padres. We need to implore you one more time. Matt Williams will make someone happy there. Well done. To get your rally caps on just one last time, and the National League might need you, by the way, here in a couple of nights. We hope not, but we need those rally caps on. I mean, something to get it going. Well, got away with an ugly breaking ball. Maybe some help. No, a nice dig by Cantu on the other end.
Beautiful dig over there by Cantu.
Well, let's take a look at our text poll. You fans think the National League will win. We agree on very little, but we agree on that.
What, you and the fans?
And you and I agree on very little.
Oh, we agree on that home run derby. And the way things, I'm glad we agree on that.
No,
and the way it's run.
It's very well run. You're right. We agree on that. Abreu takes a strike. All right, there we go. Rally shirts. That's what we're talking about.
I like it.
Pinch hitting is Abreu. That one swings away. 1-1 the count. Trying to get him back on track. It's been a tough go of it. In June, much better in July for Tony Abreu. 2-1 the count. Out of Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. Switch hitter. Batting left-handed. Obtained in the John Garland deal last year. Two and two the count.
Chased a neck-high changeup there.
You remember that trade when Garland was in the house and then crossed over?
Right across the way he went in Los Angeles.
Became the enemy that day. Got him with a slow curveball, so Hensley sits down Parra, sits down Abreu. Joel Youngblood at one point in his career played for a couple of teams in one day.
One day. A doubleheader. Played one game for one team and one game for the next, I believe.
When he was moved, traded. 1-0 the count.
About Tito Landrum. You remember that name?
I do.
He was actually traded for himself.
He was the player to be named, sent back?
He was traded for a player to be named later, and later on, that player to be named was Tito Landrum.
There you go.
Go on back to the Cardinals now, Tito. Baseball can be a funny but cruel game.
Our APS Energy All-Star to the All-Star. Chris Young, best of luck in Southern California. Out there in Anaheim, it's in Orange County, California.
Beautiful area of Southern California.
Didn't mean to. 2-2 the count. Topper, charging, Helms, and hold on. That'll be an infield hit.
That should be an infield hit. And it is. So Chris Young's first half finishes strong. It's his second base hit, third time on base. And the big fella out of Beaumont, Texas, just couldn't quite make the play. Wes Helms.
From Gastonia, North Carolina. So Young is on. Kelly Johnson. Kelly. And hits Young. Boy, what a tough break that is.
Oh, man. That is a bad, bad break.
Let's hope he's all right.
How are we looking?
We'll keep an eye on him. I hope he's looking all right. Not so good offensively. Arizona is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on. Quest high-speed internet, blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. Your Valley Hyundai dealers. Time now for the seventh inning stretch. Your dollar. Hyundai, now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. ValleyHyundaiDealers.com. That was from the last time. A lot of those.
Man.
They reserved a couple for us.
We got the same inner tubes we're going to use tonight.
Great. I'm looking forward to getting out there. Heading on down the Salt River. Fun to be had by all.
4-day break.
Juan Gutierrez locked this thing down last night. Did so in convincing fashion.
One of the guys he got in that fabulous ninth inning of his was this man stepping in the box. The big man out of Amarillo, Wes Helms. Good breaking ball there from Gutierrez. This is the game ender. This is Chris Coughlin. Rusty Ryle, Stephen Drew, right back to Gutierrez, a fist pump. A Hail Mary or 5 and a save.
2-1 the count. Fastball, did he? No, he didn't go around. Gutierrez with his second save of the year last night. In his last 12 innings, as Helms hits a fly ball, sending Justin to the corner. And the play is made, but Gutierrez's last 12 appearances, ERA of 2.25. All right, let's talk a little bit more.
Okay, what are we talking
Forecasting
about?
into the second half. New York, Tampa, or Boston. Which two of those three go to the playoffs?
Tampa and New York.
Tampa and
I
New
think
York.
Boston is just a little bit too beat up. I think they're going to miss badly Justin Pedroia. Buchholz is hurt. Josh Beckett is hurt. What about you? Who do you think?
Now that gives me a chance too, Grace. I'm glad you said that, to wish happy birthday to Blaine Boyer.
Well, happy birthday, Blaine Boyer. I think we got another birthday too. Whoa, bat went flying out of Hanley Ramirez's hands. That one whistled right by Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire. Take you a look-see. Hey! I think we also need to wish our fine radio cohort, Jeff Munn, a happy birthday.
Hello, Money. Happy birthday to you. Over there calling the game today. Bouncing ball. Gutierrez knocks it over to Kelly Johnson, who gobbles it up and throws in time for the out. The old 1-4-3 ground out. So then there's the Central Division. Now, it's not to say that the wild card has to come from the East, but let us say that we look to one of the three to win the division. Chicago, Detroit, or Minnesota. Who do you say?
Chicago White Sox.
The Chicago
They
White
got the
Sox.
best pitching staff.
I'm going to go with the Detroit Tigers.
You and your Detroit. You just can't help yourself. Lions, Tigers. If there were some Bears over there, you'd love them too.
Much to the dismay of our fine statistician, Kurt Zacher.
Well, I love the Twins. I do love the Twins. Defensively, they are unmatched.
And there's that Western Division. In a stunner, the Angels will steamroll and catch those Rangers and win.
Well, the best times for the Angels are coming up, and that is they're hosting the All-Star game, and Juan Gutierrez just mows through the ninth inning. They're not going to get shut out the day before the All-Star break, are they, Darren Sutton?
No, sir. Upton, Montero, Reynolds going to score 3 and make us all happy. Right after this. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. 2-0 is the score. Trying to get the rally going. The kids jumping in, having some fun. You're having a good time. We move along. Leo Nunez Closer for this club. He was knocked down in that play that we've shown you, I think, once or twice. 37 times. 19 saves. Good changeup. Good fastball on the backside. Right-hander starts it off with Justin Upton. 0-1 the count. Outside, a slider there. Single back in the fourth inning, rolled into a double play, popped to short. 6 for 37 in the month of July. Ready for a break. Back to the screen it goes. He challenged him. Good fastball.
He just whips the baseball up there. Kind of a three-quarter arm angle and just letting it fly. Flies wide open. Rushes it.
A little bit Juan Cruz.
Yeah, it's a good comparison. The only difference is Leo Nunez's hair is not on fire.
1-2 the count. Upton had a great June. 6 homers, 12 RBIs, on-base percentage of almost .430. This month a little quieter, as we said. Boy, nice take. That changeup almost like a split-fingered fastball at the plate. Two and two. There's another changeup, arm underneath it, threw it uphill, so it stayed high.
Having a good at-bat is Justin Upton. Make this last one for the break count. Everybody has a good at-bat. Take 4 days off with a win under your belt.
This should get it started. Line to left and over the outstretched glove of Coughlin. Upton stumbled. Angry with himself. That's all right. They had to get something to get him going and to get this club going. As long as that stumble didn't cost you an out, which it didn't.
Well, the sod took a bite out of Justin Upton. Coughlin no chance of getting to that ball, and Sod just comes out from underneath. Fortunately, Justin did not hurt himself. That could have been ugly right there. There's been some Sod problems here in this series, which is rare here. Usually, everything in great shape.
It's been a long series. This ballpark will be ready for a break. Beautify it over the break. Be ready to go again. Miguel Montero swings at a changeup. 0-1 the count. Forget immediately following this ball game, brought to you by Quest, the 10th inning. Wonderful magazine show about your Diamondbacks, but certainly off the field, a journey around the world with Mighty Mig, Miguel Montero, and Edwin Jackson looking back at his no-hitter as well. Miggy fouls it off. So Joe Garagiola Sr. as well, spending time with the Hall of Famer. And character counts as well.
Andy Griffith is next.
High ball, right field. The Braves win the World Series. Andy Griffith is next. Good friend. The missing Skip Carey as that one is outside. 1-2 the count.
Fans making big time noise. See if Miguel can get him a little more excited here with maybe a double down the line.
Lifted deep. But there to make the play. Well, he stalled that ball, but right to Chris Coggin.
He's had some tough luck. After popping up in the first, he's hit 3 balls to the middle of the track, to center field twice, and now to left.
Jack Howell giving him a hang with him. You don't always want to hear that when you're a hitter.
Oh, you hated hearing that, but that's deserving. He's had a rough day luck-wise. They have stats for that now.
Well, of course, batting average for balls in play. I'm glad you mentioned that. Strike one to Mark Reynolds. 0-1 the count.
And Mark's just got to dial himself down a little bit now. Make sure he doesn't chase those pitches up out of the zone.
The 0-1.
I didn't know Nunez had 98 miles an hour worth of fastball. Evidently he did that time.
Don't forget, we'll be back with you after the All-Star break, bringing you through a 3-game series against the surprising Padres. Bluebell Ice Cream brings you D-backs baseball, reminding you July is Ice Cream Month.
They got him to chase another high fastball.
1-2 the count. Veterans of the Korean War presenting our colors today. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service.
Very much.
It was an honor to have you out there.
Well, those are some handsome men. But you see how nice they looked in their unis there?
Sharp,
golly, those medals. Man, that's big time right there, gentlemen. You look great. And once again, thank you.
Two. Got it. So a 3-strikeout day for Reynolds. 122 strikeouts in the first half. Also want to thank Sanderson for.
Hello?
And Lincoln Mercury. Diamondbacks baseball presented by our partners. With 2 outs in the ninth.
Got one more chance here with Steve and Drew before we start the music. It's like we're not showing much confidence in Steven here. Oh, come on, Steven. Go ahead and keep this inning going. Ooh, a high strike there to even the count at 1-1.
We love Drew. Very good. Good looking sign. We need more signs in the second half, though.
Many more.
Told you folks that. I started here in 07. Steven down the line. Foul ball. Nice job by her.
Nice grab by Mr. Schmidt.
Gold Glover out there.
Still got that credential.
1-2 the count. Infield playing to pull a step or two. Outfield straight up. They call it no doubles. That means they're very deep. They don't want anything over their heads. Steven would represent the tying run, and that's the reason. Talked him into throwing him a changeup. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Steven, a solid take. 2-2 the count.
Well, you can throw a changeup at 87. That is pretty special. Kind of got him off the scrap heap from the Kansas City Royals. Is that correct, Darren?
That is correct.
Leo Nunez.
Swap of a minor leaguer. That'll do it. That is a changeup. That is strike 3, and that is the end of the first half for the Diamondbacks as they come up short at the hands of the Florida Marlins. Best of luck, Chris Young, in the All-Star game. And we certainly